Daily Broadside to 838. I think we need a granny trader out there. Now, don't get yourself all worked up, boys. It's not what I'm telling you. It's not what you're thinking, okay? I think we need, like, when I say granny trader, it would be like an auto trader for, like, old ladies, okay? Old ladies, specifically, are some of the worst keepers of valuable things on planet Earth. I got a buddy named Teeter, and Teeter was under a house the other day looking at a job for his business, and he crawls into the crawl space to look at something, and I don't even know what he was doing because he does like outdoor stuff. At any rate, he was under a house, and there's two guitar cases that are clearly bass cases because, you know, bass cases are bigger because basses are bigger than guitars. And he's like, and they're covered in dust, but they've not been there like crazy long, you know. So he comes out and he's like, you know, Miss Smith, what are those basses under your house? She goes, yeah, those are my son's. I was going to get rid of them. No, she said I was going to donate them to Goodwill. And he's like, well, and he opens them while he's down there. And, you know, they're decent basses. They're nothing, you know, like crazy high level, but they're not like $150, you know, Amazon guitars. And so he's like, no, don't donate. He said, I'll give you $200. He sells them for like, you know, $1,500 like a week later or whatever. My point is, like, you know how many stories there are of, I mean, who throws away all the baseball cards in this world? Old ladies. Moms in their 40s, you know. Kid leaves, goes to college, moves out, gets his own apartment. She's like, I don't think we need Hank Aaron anymore. Dumps him out, you know. That kind of, you know, like, and you just threw away $7 million in baseball cards. And you're like, I mean, hey, who threw away the corn stash in the Beastie Boys song? Yeah, Mom, throw away, right? It was a woman, right? Women just love just cleaning house, throwing stuff away. So it gets back to the granny trader. The granny trader would be somebody that, like, I got a friend who has a friend, and she tells me last night, she's like, man, I got a friend, because that's what I just said. She's like, I got a friend who, she knows somebody who's an older lady. And I'm like, here we go. I was like, how cheap is what we're about to, you know? It's either one of two things. They either throw away something valuable or they sell it for way less than it's worth. They had like a 2011 4Runner in like immaculate condition, like showroom condition, had 90,000 miles on it. Nothing wrong with it. Her husband passes and she's like, I just don't need this second car. And she's giving it away for like $3,500. And I'm like, God bless. Like those are the things of dreams. Like, there are cars that I would buy that I wouldn't even want if they were on Granny Trader, just because I know that some old little blue hair lady's been driving it every Sunday to church and then parking it under the carport, and all it needs is a good paint correction and detail, and bam, you got this brand new car basically, because they don't go anywhere. I mean, think of how many, my grandmother never worked a day in her life. You know, my grandfather worked. In fact, neither one of them worked. One of them had a butter churner in her kitchen. I always thought that was interesting. You know, I'd open it and not find butter, but I understand how butter churners work. But you see them, you know, growing up in cartoons and whatnot. But then you see one in person, and it's when there's no butter in there or cream. I think you put cream in there and you churn. It's just kind of a weird implement. But at any rate, and it's odd that someone invented the butter. Why am I talking about? Well, I'm not talking about butter churner. I'm talking about Granny Trader. So, like, neither one of my grandmothers worked a day in their life, other than, you know, keeping a house and having all the kids and, you know, uterine tears and, you know, all that kind of crap from childbirth. Anyway, my point is, you like that's what you long for. Okay, what was I going? Well, why they didn't work? Because they don't go anywhere, right? So, like, they go to the grocery store on Saturday morning or something, and then they go park the car. And yet, my grandmother had a car, and my grandfather had a truck. And yet, what she need a car for? Like, she didn't need to go nowhere. She didn't go nowhere. So these cars accumulate no miles, you know? You've got like some Chrysler LeBaron, which you shouldn't want. But my point is, you got a Chrysler LeBaron that's a 1989 Chrysler LeBaron that's got 11,000 mint miles. Like, these are cars, like barn find cars that you want, you know? So women are either giving stuff away, throwing stuff away, donating it to the evil empire Goodwill, which I abhor and loathe as a human, or they're selling it for pennies on the dollar. So you make long story short, 5 minutes later, you get a granny trader and you open up the granny trader. Now, you can't just be anybody to get into the granny trader. You got to have like credit check. You got to be like 800 plus. You got to be morally, you can't be like morally bankrupt. You can't like have any charges on your, like you can have a couple speeding tickets when you were in college, but for the most part, you've had no parking tickets, no nothing. You don't, you don't owe anybody any money that's not like normal, like a mortgage. Like upside down and credit card debt, crap like that. Like there's a series of things that you have to be vetted to get into being able to play in the granny trader game. And then once you're you get your password, you set up your account, you look up and you're like, oh, whoa, is this a Jeep Sahara? A 92 Jeep Sahara with 1,400 original miles because some blue hair wanted a Jeep to take the top down, and it's like I went out west one time and I went with my great uncle and aunt to a wedding in Prescott, not Prescott, I learned, but Prescott, Arizona. And they opted, my family got the cheapest thing, because all we were doing was driving from the airport to Scottsdale, basically, like an hour or two, whatever, however far that is from Phoenix. And so we got like just a normal, mid-sized small car or whatever. And we're crammed into this damn Geo Prism or whatever the hell we were in. And then, because again, all we're doing is driving on the highway, and they opted for the Chrysler Sebring convertible. And we're like, and it was like the difference between like $59 and like $110. Like, why are y'all getting a convertible? It's cold and we're going to be on the highway. It's 70 miles an hour. You're not going to put the top. They didn't put the top down one damn time. But my great aunt, and if you knew her, you'd know why we had to do this. Like, it's her way or the highway. She wanted a damn Chrysler Sebring convertible, and that's what they got. And the top stayed up. We passed them on the highway, and like, top, nothing. Anyway, why did I even mention that? You never took the top off the Jeep's heart, but my point is, I don't even know what my point is. I'm just rambling incessantly this morning. And so, you get to be, I look like Wayne Static. You gotta know who that is. Static X, yeah. I guess I'm gonna end this because I think everybody understands what granny trader is. It's not like a perverse, like trading online, never mind. Y'all have a good one. Get it.